I wasn't
We're,
sure.
we're just starting the live stream, and then I'll do that, and then we can talk about anything you want. I think we're here. So, hello, this is our class number 6 in the Akashic Records course. And today we're going to be going further into the different decks of cards that we have and 3-card readings, which are really wonderful to get a sense of and to use for just about anything. So we have some we have some new tools for you as usual that you can use. So Jacqueline, was there something you wanted to ask?
Yeah, sorry about that. I wanted to find out which deck we were going to use today. I didn't see it on the list.
We're going to use the female archangels deck and the good tarot. So we're continuing to introduce new things, kind of putting all the pieces out there. Um, this is the last deck, the good tarot, and I think as everybody knows, um, if you're not wanting to be certified, you can do whatever you want, buy them, don't buy them, use them, don't use them. If you want to be certified, then we require the first 3 decks that we list, which is all of them except for the female archangels. Although I really love that too. I would get it. I did get it. So I guess I guess we're ready to go into it. I see Cynthia's halfway here. Not seen, but are you here, Cynthia?
I'm here.
Oh, good, good. Oh, there you are. Good to see you.
Thank
Um,
you.
and George, I wanted to. I know George, you were asking last night. You mentioned you didn't know how to go into the records yourself, and I wanted to make sure that you're aware that under Class 1, I believe it is. Let me see. I go in here for where it has all the weeks. There you can there is an Akashic Records meditation and notes in written form, and there is also an audio meditation. So you can follow either of those just on your own to accustom yourself to the process. I just want to make sure you were aware of that. So that's under Class 1, where we first
Yeah.
introduced those.
Yeah, it's not a matter of necessarily not being able to do it. It's a matter of lack of confidence. But, either way, it works very similarly, and that information will help me. But
Good.
thank you.
Yeah, and if it's confidence, I would suggest play with it. Just pretend, go to that childlike wonder and pretend that it all works and see what happens.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times I'm doing that even now. Like I don't know about this, but I do allow myself to go through the experience, and then you have the opportunity afterwards to reject it if you don't value it, if it doesn't seem like it means anything. Or you might gain something you never considered before.
Very true.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's, sometimes it's hard for us to just let go and play with things, but it is also when you're opening to more intuitive topics, it's very effective to do that. So, anyhow, there you are. Maybe
Thank you.
that'll help because of course our goal is for people to be able to use the tools that we're providing, obviously. And we'd like you to be able to do it and to feel confident and know that you have, once you learn the tools, of course, then you have all of these wonderful things you can be using for the rest of your life. And
Yeah.
ultimately, that's the greatest value of all of this to me. And when I think of the many tools that we've gathered over the years, and so many things are possible for us now that were not before. And but we sometimes say, well, we probably saved thousands of dollars in doctor bills and things like that, which is just one layer of it. But they're very practical to use. Depending, as you have to use the right one, obviously, for the right thing. But I think, well, Bonita has taken pretty much everything, and don't you feel you have a lot of tools that have probably saved you a lot of money too over the years?
Yeah, and lets me take them out and use it to clients so I make money.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's another level of it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thanks. So last time we introduced the female archangels, the Archaea, and we did reading number 3 with them and the mystical shaman cards. So today what we're going to do, without going further into another reading, is use the Archaea cards and the Good Tarot and do 3-card readings. We talked about those a little bit earlier. Along with your video for today, you'll also find there's this kind of little cheat sheet. We have some listed in already in your readings guidebook, but this is a more expansive list of 3-card readings, which I'll bring it up a little later to show you. And with the combination of all of these suggested readings that you can do, you can probably find one that would be effective for almost anything that you want to do with it. So with the Akashic records also, where our goal is to keep the readings pretty simple and straightforward, not to have like 10-card readings or something where you get enmeshed in that. We're looking for enough information to be very useful. 3-card readings are pretty magical. And then also to presumably or hopefully pinpoint something or identify something that we can be exploring in the records, which may or may not happen when you do a reading. You never know. But I think the more I've done them, for some reason, I had a hard time making the connection at first. Now I just see opportunities to explore things in the records all the time in readings. I think I'm much looser in my approach to what it is that I'm looking for. So that we'll be doing that again today. We'll be talking about the readings and the cards. The Good Tarot
I
is
have a question.
another wonderful deck. Let me just, could I finish? Let me just
sure.
finish this introduction. So we have the Good Tarot, which is a wonderful tarot deck, especially in this course. I like it because you can use this. It's so simple. And the messages, it's based on positive psychology. So you can easily make sense of the meanings of the cards. They're very short messages. So they're positive psychology kinds of messages. Even if you don't look at it necessarily as a tarot reading with the deep meaning of the tarot cards, you can get a message and go from there with it. So Loretta, what was it that you wanted to say?
Okay, I never did get the other deck you're talking about. I've got the Good Tarot and I've got the Mystical Shaman. I thought I must have misunderstood when you said the third one about the angels was not that important compared to these two. So I have several decks of my own that are angel decks. Could they replace that deck that I don't have to do the reading?
Well, just to backtrack a little bit, the first deck that we explored was the Akashic Tarot. So the 3 decks that
I've got that. I've got
right,
that.
yeah. So the 3 decks that we, for people who want to be certified, that we use are the Akashic Tarot, the Good Tarot, and the Mystical Shaman. And then the archangels. In each course, we have an extra one. I wouldn't say that it means it's less important by any means. It's just we're trying to not be too demanding, I think.
Well,
I think, personally, I think this is a great deck. And
okay,
it's
but I
very
don't have that, so how can I do the reading today? I have several decks in the other room on angels because I remember last week you had that deck as the center card, and then you pulled 2 from the Good Tarot,
Mystical Shaman.
Mystical Shaman. So I don't have one to put in the center then.
You, and this is interesting with the 4 decks, and if you have 3, you can pick any one of them for the central focus. So
Oh,
you could
okay.
use the Akashic Tarot. I mean, obviously you're not going to, well, you might get an angel from that one. There are some, I guess, in there.
Yeah.
The Akashic Tarot, or you could use the Mystical Shaman for the central focus, and then use the Good Tarot for the cards that are on either side.
Okay.
So you can do a reading. It's not going to be exactly the same because you don't obviously have the exact same deck, but you can certainly do a 3-card reading.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the great things about these cards. I'm looking at my decks here. Is that there are so many different things you can do with them, with what you choose for the central focus. And I tend to, personally, I like to do readings with a central focus. Some people, they'll have readings with, and some of our readings don't have a central focus either, but a lot of times I like having that because it's like this is an encapsulation of what the main message is. So I know the main point. The point is, and then here's more information about it. So that's why I really like having a central focus. And I find somehow that having a different deck for the central focus works for me particularly. You could use the same cards for all three of them too. You don't have to use different decks. That's just something I like to do. And in general, I tend to use one Oracle deck and one Tarot deck, but it doesn't, even that, it's not like you have to do that. There are no rules. We're just making them up as we go along.
Okay.
They're just
Great.
preferences. So anyhow, I think part of it is too, we want to feel free. Hi, Terry. Didn't get to say hi. We want to feel free with whatever we're doing, not like, well, I have to do this and then I have to do that, because then it starts becoming dogma. And what we want it to be is an expansive kind of sense of openness with whatever it is that we're looking at with the cards. And again, as I mentioned, with just going into the records, playing with them, bringing that childlike wonder to them. And we talked last time about having a central focus card, and then you have 2 other cards. You're not identifying what they're for, but the 3 of them together make a story. That's magical. It also, in a way, not having any identification for those 2 cards gives you more freedom in terms of how you would interpret them. But then there are advantages sometimes to having it identified. It's just, like I said, it's all preference.
I'm on a conference call. Can I call you? Okay.
Can you
this will
mute
be over at
yourself?
6:30.
We're hearing you. There, I muted you, Loretta. Okay, so let's see. I guess that is about it for the introduction. One kind of related point, just as something to be aware of, because everything is connected and everything has meaning. We just had a new moon. So the new moon is a time when new opportunities come in, leading up to the full moon, and then we're kind of integrating for the other half of the cycle. So now this is a great opportunity in this moment, because it's just this new moon just happened that we're in the first quadrant or whatever they say of the lunar cycle, to open to new things. That's just a note. So I think probably most everybody understands the value of the mystical shaman cards by now. I think the Akashic Tarot has a lot of depth. The mystical shaman cards also have a tremendous amount of depth, and they're very profound, can go really deep in exploring their messages. I didn't get those out, unfortunately. Let me see, where are they? Oops. I drew a couple cards. Bonita was here, and I wanted to draw some cards before. I just didn't have an opportunity, but I want to show you just as an example here. I'm going to go to my other camera.
Ready for practice?
Let's see if I can go to, oh, where is it? Speaker view. So you can get hopefully you can see that, a big view of that, how beautiful those cards are together, which is something that I really appreciate in cards. And some of them, you can tell also that they speak to each other well. It might sound kind of odd at first, but they really do speak with each other well. And the artist who designed all of these cards, it's the same one for the Mystical Shaman as the Good Tarot. So they just are really, to me, just beautiful to look at together. And what I actually did, I drew cards. I drew one from the full female archangels deck, the full deck, which I thought that's what I'd like to do today, because you could draw just from the male angels and explore the divine masculine. You can use the whole deck and just explore any kind of a question. I think with decks like this that have archangels or ascended masters or gods and goddesses, generally you'll see the name there and then there'll be a message. And I often focus primarily on the identity of the archangel or the whatever the master is or whatever it is. You also your primary focus could be on the message. So you could be saying, well, what is it I need to focus on now? And here it says, speak your truth, speaking your truth. That would be another way to look at it. I tend not to draw a lot of cards with different angels or masters on them, because I can feel their energy. And to me, I become overwhelmed because it's so powerful. If you have like 5 archangels there, it's for me, it just is too much. But if you want to primarily focus on the messages, you can use them just like any other oracle cards and almost ignore the angels, other than maybe 1 or 2 that you would want to explore more. I'm just mentioning that to invite you again to consider that there are so many different options to explore. So where is that? Now I can't find my way out of speaker mode. The 3 dots disappeared. Oh, here we are. Let's see. We'll go back to gallery. So any questions about that kind of looking at different things that you can do with the cards and freeing yourself in a way to look at them in whatever way it feels right in the moment when you're doing a reading? Okay. So as I mentioned with the Good Tarot, the cards are very simple. I could go back, actually, I could go back to that reading I had. now that I took it away, we'll go back here, getting there faster. Okay, so with this one, it's interesting. It was just like something for me today. I was thinking. So it is speaking your truth, and the cards on the sides, these are both major arcana cards, which if you know a little bit about the tarot means that these are the major lessons that you're looking at. With the Good Tarot, you could know that or not, it doesn't matter. So the first one on this side, it's the Hermit. So that is about looking at what's within. And I'm going to read the message on this one and the other one just to give you examples of them. The Hermit, it says, time out. Sometimes it's necessary to take time out for regrouping and introspection. This is a temporary experience, but one necessary for growth. So maybe in a way you could say, for speaking my truth, I need to really look within a little more. When I step back, retreat, regroup, and renew, I have a clear perspective on everything in my life. So it is already telling me something about the other card, is that speaking my truth isn't just about going out there and talking, It's about really understanding more about who I am and why, maybe why I want to speak my truth. So then on the other side, we have the Chariot. This is another major arcana. This one was number 9. This one is number 7. 7 is a number of completion and success and then moving to a higher level. So the Chariot, the way I see it, it's like your chariot is going, taking a journey up into the higher dimensions. What it says in the book here is chariot equals victory. So it is success. Everything I have worked for, including the obstacles I have faced and overcome, is now part of this time of victory. I have learned to see all aspects of my life as essential to my growth. I have fallen, but now I am risen again to live freely and truthfully, fearlessly and skillfully. So you can put all of those together. It's like already it's indicating already you've learned a lot. So it's not like you're a beginner here. It's telling me with the Chariot, you have a lot to offer and you're ready to move to a higher level with it. So the Hermit then is going to allow me to look within and explore what it is that I most need to understand to move to that higher level. And that's one way of looking at it. And then I could go to Archangel Gabriel and ask him for support, like how would he support me with speaking my truth and get messages and energy, whatever it is that would be appropriate from him. So that's an example of doing the reading we did last time and using the good tarot and an archangel card, but in this case, using the whole deck. So let me see, I'm going to go back to my other camera again. And gallery view. So I know that some people have already used these cards before. Anyone want to know, say something about how you view the good tarot? I guess it would just be Bonita, maybe, and Hope.
I haven't used them a lot outside of class, so I don't really have a comment.
Okay. Well, I think that was a good example of how easy it is to use them as a tarot card without having to understand a lot about the tarot. I think it can really confuse people. And in the other 2 courses in this program, we go into it a lot more. Since we have the records with this one, we're wanting to maintain our focus on both the cards and the records, and so not to go into a lot of details. And this is a perfect deck for that because you don't really need to know anything about it to be able to use it. One thing about them that I wonder about sometimes is she doesn't really say anything about, this is Colette Baron Reed, about what the symbols represent. And there are a lot of different symbols in the cards. So sometimes I'll just look them up in AI. Like I was looking, well, like here's one. This is a mermaid, and you think, oh, how beautiful, a mermaid. What might a mermaid mean? And you could just, if you don't have a sense of what that would mean symbolically, you could look that up in AI. I know I was looking for a specific one, which probably is not a good idea because they don't usually show up when, oh, here. So here's one. The 7 of air, and there are geese there. So what might the geese mean? And I would look it up in AI just to find out in relation to what the message is in the card, what that is. Here's a beautiful one. The Queen of Air with an owl. I think we all have a sense of what owls might mean. This is a white owl. That might be something special. Here, giraffe. So if you're like me and you wonder, well, gee, I don't know, they don't explain a lot of things because the simplicity is great, but that is one area where you might want to look deeper, and you have the tools to do that.
When we go to AI, are we supposed to name the deck?
No, you can just say what is the spiritual meaning of a giraffe or what is
Okay,
the
okay,
spiritual
okay.
meaning of
All right.
whatever it is. Yeah. You can't it's you can't actually even look up like what was I doing? Oh, the mudra cards. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but uh, they might have I don't have them right here, but any card will like this card, speak your truth. And just go to AI and say, please give me an oracle card reading for speaking your truth in the style of, and it could be in the style of anyone, in the style of Denise Lynn is one that I think of a lot because she has such beautiful interpretations, and they'll give you a reading in the style of Denise Lynn.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So if you encounter something like that and want more information about it, you can explore it that way too. I mean, it could be in the style of Jesus or anything in the style of Archangel Metatron. And
Okay.
so again, it's just freeing yourself and looking like there's this whole universe out here to explore, and it's all here for us. And probably in many ways that we haven't ever even considered. So with that, any questions about using the good tarot? Any concerns or anything? Anything? Comments? I'm curious. Do you find those cards beautiful? Those two decks? Yeah, they feel really deeply meaningful to me, and I that's one of my favorite artists in the oracles and tarot cards. Gina, what's her name? Gina something. Gina della Grottaglia is her name. A lot of times the artists don't get a lot of credit, but what they create is as meaningful as anything else on the card, as meaningful as the verbal interpretations. So now I want to talk a little bit more about 3-card readings, and I use them quite a bit, and sometimes I'll use a 3-card reading and add to it, which if I have a chance, I'll show you that too. I wanted to show you the list that we have here. So, and you might want to make a note of this so you don't forget. The 3-card reading handout is under class 6, which is today's class. So when you look there where the video is going to appear, you'll find this little PDF. I want to share this. Okay, so you can see 3-card readings diagram. And I put them in this order, middle, left, and right, because I generally and often have the central focus as the middle card, and some of them say central focus on it. But you could say if you're wondering, like say you're wondering what stands between you and arriving at a goal or being able to communicate with another person, this second one is you, and then on the left side you have another person or thing, and then on the right, what stands between you. Interesting. And that's a very effective one. The third one, situation, do and don't do. Sometimes people will ask yes or no questions, which we talk about occasionally, and it isn't my goal not to not to answer yes or no questions. When people ask them, my goal is to help them to understand the topic more so they know what the answer is. Does that make sense? So you could say, well, should I do this or not? So I could give them the situation, do and don't do. What happens if you do it? What happens if you don't do it? And ask them, what does that mean to them? Or you can do it obviously for yourself. Situation, suggested outcome, or suggested action and outcome. So we have a whole bunch of them here. Another one that is just really delightful to explore, and clients really like it too, is the last one on the list, your superpower. And then on one side, how to develop it. And on the other side, the potential outcome. So that's a way to, in a fun way, to explore purpose, I think, life purpose and your strength. What is your strength? So we have all of those. And then here we have also a few vertical ones. So you have the middle card and then a card above it and a card below it. So it could be the card above it. And this is one thing about it. You have to decide as you're interpreting something what it is that means. A lot of times if I'm looking at the card above, it's like, what is there in the higher dimensions that I'm bringing down to me as a resource? I mean, it could mean anything to you, whatever it means, kind of up there. And then below it is, what does that mean? It could mean what's hidden in the unconscious that you need to understand about it. What I usually actually look at it as is, when I bring this down, then what am I creating on earth with it? So you have your central focus, you have one above and you have one below. So what is it you're gathering from above, from your higher consciousness or from a resource like an angel or whatever, bringing it through you? And then what are you creating in the physical world from that? And I mentioned sometimes doing more cards. Like if I do a 3-card reading, I could do something like one of my favorite, central focus. Like, okay, what do I need to know today? Here's central focus. You need to know about, and taking that one I already talked about, speak your truth. Okay. And then, so what you need to know is on one side, what you can do with it is on the other side. And then if I wanted more information, I might look at, well, what is it I'm bringing down from above here to help me to speak my truth? And what is it then I'm creating in the world with it? So you can be asking a lot of different questions. And then just for fun, you might do all of that. And you think, well, wow, that's really great, but I feel like I'm missing something. So you might say, well, what am I missing? Or what might I be missing? And then you could even just draw another card. You can say that anytime. What am I missing? And draw something. So, oh, I guess you can't see. Well, you can see me maybe a little because you're looking at this, hopefully. I did. Oh, yeah, you are. Okay. So that's an interesting one, too. Or you could ask yourself, what is it I'd never thought about that's important here? You actually can start to have a conversation even with the card, just asking questions and getting answers, and just do it as kind of a conversation. And I'm just sharing all these things to, again, to provide you with more freedom with what you can do with them, because it's not like you see something and it's a rule book. It's really, you don't want to have a rule book. What you want to have is something expansive that can take you places that you might not go without the cards, where they're adding something to you that you wouldn't get in another way, probably. So I'll stop that.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
I noticed one of the lines said, with a situation that said, the middle question was, who can help me?
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't sure, of course, maybe it's meant to be open, but who are you asking more like what forces can help you, or angelic beings or guides, or are you asking in the material world?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Or is it both? Or all of
It's
the
whatever you decide it is.
above? Okay.
And you could say, who can help me and draw an angel card? Or you could say, who can help me and draw any card and just hope that it is going to make sense to you. You could draw, also you could, if you're familiar with the tarot cards, you could draw a card from one of the court cards, which are people. There's 16 court cards. You could pick, just draw from those and get something.
Well,
Which
and-
reminds me, another thing about all of this is, okay, so I want to get a court card. Who can help me? I want to get a court card, and it might be, the idea of it would be that it would somehow remind you of someone.
Mhm.
And
And
so
that's when
well, let me finish this. So I've got my good tarot here, and I've got a whole deck. Like, I don't want to take time to pick out those 16 cards. So I've shuffled it and done everything. I'm going to split them. And then the first court card that I get is going to be it. So I got 10 of Earth. That's not it. It's not a court card. Here it is, Queen of Water. So if you want to get something, or from the female archangels card too, if you want to draw a male archangel to help you, or a female archangel, you can draw from the whole deck and just say it's going to be the first one that matches my description that is going to be the right card. It's just a simple way to do it without having to split decks all the time and putting back together again.
Yeah.
So what else did you want to ask or say?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, you're right. We don't have to know literally, but that's where we trust our intuition to come in. The guidance will come from the dialogue with the cards, and being open to the intuition you get.
Right. Well, and say you draw a card like, who can help me? And you're drawing from a whole deck, and you get 7 of water. And you can say, well, I don't know who that would be. What does 7 of water mean?
Right.
It's actually 7 of water that would be making a choice. And if you do that, and I'm not sure I would do that for that question, is do something without asking for a person or some kind of being.
Where'd you go?
You could say, I don't get it. Can I have more clarity? And draw another card. And you can always do that with any card. I'm not sure about this. Can you just explain this a little better? It's like you can you create this wonderful conversation, essentially, with yourself through the cards. Another thing you can do, which is really interesting, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it probably at the end of the class, is you can intend with a deck of cards. And I have a separate deck of cards. I know Bonita knows this, that I only use to get messages from God. So when I draw a card, it's God telling me something. You could just use any deck and say, okay, so I'd like, here I am. I have this deck of cards, and I want to know who can help me. And I'm asking Saint Germain. So with this deck of cards, whatever I draw now, it's going to be a message from Saint Germain. It just personalizes it. You can do that. I have several decks. I have another deck I use only for messages from the divine. And I just don't use it for anything else. It's just dedicated. But you can temporarily assign a deck to messages from whoever you want, which is beautiful too. So again, there's just so much you can do. Probably more than any of us can even imagine that we can do with all of this, and why it's so powerful. I think just the idea of using 3-card readings, the number 3 is really a magical number. I have a message written down about it here. The number 3 represents growth, creativity, expansion, and synthesis. You might note a lot of times writers and advertisers will use 3, like as an example. It could be this, or this. Making a 3-card layout uniquely capable of turning isolated card meanings into a flowing story. There is just something about 3 that puts things together. Well, 1 is just one note. If you add 2, a lot of times you end up with polarity, and then 3 takes it to another level. So there is something behind all of that is very meaningful. Okay, so I guess, is there anything else? Anybody, any questions about anything before we go into a reading? Okay, so I'm going to collect these cards back. And I guess we could, I guess you don't have this list already, but you might have seen something, or one thing we could do, which is, again, a lot of fun, is to do the superpower reading. If somebody would like a superpower reading, or if you'd like a message from a male archangel, anything, anybody want to volunteer? Oh, Bonita. Okay. So what would you like? Your
I would
wish
like,
is our command.
oh, I command you to, a superpower reading would be awesome.
Okay, yeah. And so anybody who wants can follow along. And if you want a message from an archangel, you can use these cards to start, to get your first message, or you could use any of the decks you want. So do you have a preference, Bonita, which deck we choose for the central focus?
Nope, whatever you feel drawn to is fine.
Okay, I'm going to stay with the archangels, because then you have an archangel to help you, and there will be a theme with it. Yeah, the superpower is a really great one. I'll write this down. And I guess I might as well. And did you want to say anything else?
Nope.
Okay. I always like to ask people, if I'm working with a client, to make sure that they've had a chance to express whatever they want to say before I take the next step with things. Always by permission. I think that's a way to look at it. If you haven't worked with a lot of people, just make sure that you're on the same kind of track together as you're going along. So I'll change cameras and we'll draw our first card. So I like to shuffle this way. And it's interesting, I think a lot of people who do readings, it gets so the shuffling is a time when you're focusing your intention too. So we're looking for the right card for the central focus for Bonita for her superpower. So I'm putting that intention into the cards. And then you can't see it, but I generally then put the deck to my heart and I hold it there to bring the deck into harmony with the intention. And I hold it until my body moves forward. We've done the body sway, I think, probably. Just that means it's done. So I'll just hold it and stay focused until my body moves forward. And then I might, after I do that, a lot of times I'll shuffle one more time. Or if I feel more guided not to, I'll just draw. So, but this time I'm going to shuffle once. I shuffled once, and then I divide the deck. You can pick whatever way you want. Some people will fan out the deck and pick one. I usually just split it and choose the top card. This is a big superpower here, Bonita. The card is Source. So this is one of the cards that's not actually an angel. So it's Source. It says return to oneness. That's your superpower.
That's a pretty impressive superpower.
Yeah. How does that feel?
It feels that I have a lot to live up to.
Mm-hmm. Well, what it's saying is that you have the capacity to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's your superpower. So I'm going to look it up here in the book. I think this is the last card in the deck too, number 44. So that's a really, to me, a very special card. Something to focus on. It says, recognize your divinity, come home to source. Your personal power isn't derived from an outside source. If you believe your power belongs to someone else, then they'll hold dominion over you. You are the pure loving awareness as reflection of source always and in every way. Reclaim all that you are by remembering who and what you are. This is your calling card. Kind of like, this is your superpower. A light with external agendas by a light from external agendas by turning to the wisdom of your source to guide. Listen as your inner being speaks through your instincts and intuition. Trust your choices. Trust your instincts. Trust your heart. So what stands out in that, Bonita?
That it's already mine and I just need to recognize it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's really beautiful. So are you ready to find out how to develop it?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to use the good tarot since that's our new thing here. And I'm shuffling it. It's a it's a very big and thick deck. I never thought my hands were very small, but I have so many decks I can't even get my arms around them or my hands around them. This was one of them. So I just kind of do my best. I think you also can just kind of do something like this overhand. They call it overhand. But it's a big, thick deck. You can see how thick it is. I have a hard time. Oh, just hand me that there. Very thick. So I'm going to shuffle it one more time. You can also try just doing it short way, but it doesn't work as well. Okay. So we'll hold this to my heart. This is for how to develop it. Okay, so I'm going to, again, just split the deck and draw from the top, and I'll be drawing both of those cards now. This is interesting. Tower, the Tower. It's Major Arcana number 16. And this one, I'll read you the message. The Tower is surprises in this deck. It often, I'll share that after we do this. Things happen really fast when this card shows up in a reading. Its appearance could portend a total paradigm shift or a sudden upheaval that takes something away in order for something better to take its place. It could be that I've had an epiphany. Whatever it is, this card tells me unexpected events will be very interesting and offer opportunities for positive transformation if I remain present with my eyes open. So what does that signal to you?
Well, unexpected events, and that I need to look at them as if an unexpected event happens as it's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Well, it says it could portend a paradigm shift. It doesn't have to be a total upheaval, although sometimes it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like epiphany. It could be an epiphany.
Yeah, so there's a message that'll be coming, but
Who
you
knows
know,
how?
right. But just pay attention.
Right. Yeah. So you're looking then for signs, right? So you'll be looking in your life for to be guided for a further awareness of what it is. How to develop it. That's how to develop it. Pay attention to what's happening. And it is, I think it's very interesting when we ask for a sign, we often get it. Interesting. Okay, so the potential outcome is the Two of Fire. So this is the fire suit. The one it's called what do you call it? Now I'm losing the word. Wands. The wands. So here we have the giraffe, which is actually, I'm kind of getting a sense already of what the giraffe means. Did you have any thoughts about that before I read the guidebook?
No, I don't know what the giraffe means.
Well, this card is often about expanding your possibilities. So the giraffe is bigger. It's like it has a higher vantage point. It's seeing from a higher place. That's
True.
what it made me think of right away.
Mm-hmm.
And you're riding along with it. There you are. Okay, creative planning for the future, mapping progress, trusting in the unknown, spirit inspired ambition. Whenever I can't see how my dreams will coalesce into form, I can trust in the process of co creation and engage more deeply in the process of envisioning something new. I have already started to make progress, and soon my passion will attract the perfect situation to me. The light of spirit helps me to see my way and feel the universe aligning to bring what I need.
Yeah, I love that. Feel the universe aligning to bring me what I
Yeah,
need.
yeah, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like often the card for the Two of Wands has a globe in it. It's like, and looking out over a vast scene. So it is like looking at something bigger, the universe aligning. You're looking at something from a universal perspective. So you're at a point, obviously, of looking at something large and something very expansive for you to be able to return to oneness. I mean, that's a big goal.
Yeah, well, I'm getting ready to do a workshop on Saturday, and I asked people to sign up in advance, and I had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to have a workshop last month, and I had one person sign up. So I did meet with her. I mean, she's already signed up, so let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't know if I'm being directed elsewhere or if it's just going to maybe I'll have two this time. I don't know. And it's all
Mm-hmm.
okay because it's all an experiment, right? So I don't
Right.
take it personally that they show up or not.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be where I'm supposed to be and doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, it's suggesting, I think, to look big.
but maybe I'll have five.
So, yeah. Well, it's in terms of topic, maybe that, well, it's suggesting that just exploring the big picture.
Hmm.
So, another thing then, since this is the Akashic Records course, and of course you can do this with any reading, is to ask yourself, well, do I want to go into the records and see if there's something there to explore in relation to all of this?
I would love that.
Okay. Okay. So that, and just about all of these classes now, I think in the records, we'll do readings. And then if it's appropriate, if the person who's volunteered wants to go into the records to explore it more, then that will be the next step. Because that brings in, I mean, we've already looked at how far we've gone with her understanding her superpower. And then when you go into the records, you're adding another element to it. But who knows where that'll take us. So, Bonita, before we go, did you want to, anything you wanted to say or anything, I guess, do you
No,
want to define your intention or just ask uh, if the records can show you something about developing your superpower?
yeah, just what is it that I should know?
Mm-hmm. Right. And it makes sense. To me, it makes sense to look to the records for that because it
Mhm.
can go to all different places. Okay, what you should. Oh, before we do that, if you don't mind taking a little break, Bonita, I'm curious, did anybody else do that reading for yourself? The superpower reading?
I'm starting on it. So I pulled my
Yeah.
first card, the center card.
Uh-huh. Did
And
you want to share something about it, or is it a little early for you?
I can share what I drew. And actually, two cards came up together. They stuck together.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one was the Archangel Sindelphanon, says centering ground.
Sandalphon?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Sandalphon? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
He's
Right.
connected with the earth and grounding. Yeah.
My question was, moving forward with the various things that I'm doing, am I going at the right pace? And should I be doing all these things simultaneously? So basically, it was telling me to center myself in ground and don't worry about keeping up, uh, keeping up a certain pace.
Wow.
Basically, go um, at the pace I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've been doing is how I feel. If I don't feel like doing anything on anything today, then I won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
If I have
Right.
the energy to do stuff, then I do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other card that was attached to it was, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but Constance. So is the second card, is to bring heaven to earth.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't
Right.
look just yet what exactly the meaning is, but what I kind of, how I kind of relate to it was all my visions and things that I recognize as being part of my purpose in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, heaven wants me to
Right.
extract from it and bring
Bring into form. Right.
to
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
help people. So is
Yeah.
that they're both definitely in line with where I am right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful too. And then of course you can add other cards if you want. And the thing about something like this, and I think with Bonita's reading too, is some of these really require a period of reflection to gain everything that you can from them.
Mhm.
And that one might be that way too. Anybody else? Something? If you drew anything, got anything? Yes, Loretta.
Okay, I did a reading with a question. What do I need to know?
Mm-hmm.
And the middle card was the Akashic Tarot, and I got the King of Scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
The left was the Mystical Shaman, and I got the Council. And the right, the Mystical Shaman, I got the Ancient Ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't looked up what they mean yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks like a deep one also. With the king of the I look at the kings, and this is another thing, when you have done this for a while, you'll have your own kind of way that you look at the cards. The kings are the divine masculine, the fully realized card of the suit, whatever it is. So the King of Scrolls would be about divine wisdom. And I like to call the keyword for it embodiment. So embodiment of divine wisdom. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, well, I'm getting it. Divine wisdom. Okay.
And then I would, we'll have to go into what the other cards mean that go along with that. But that's really a beautiful, I would say, insight to explore.
Well, we all need to know what we need to learn. We all need to learn more than we know now.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. That's beautiful. Yeah. And those cards, those other ones look very powerful too. The council and the ancient one. That'll be interesting for you
Yeah,
to
I'll look them
reflect
up
on.
later.
Okay. Anybody else before we go into the records with Bonita? Um, you also can go, if you have a reason to go into the records, you can take your own journey for your own purpose too, or you can just kind of follow along and see what insights you might be gathering from the experience that Bonita has. So you ready, Bonita?
I'm ready.
I think I'm going to come back on camera and not, I don't think you need to look at those cards anymore. Okay, here we are. Okay, so for all of us, and I recommend following along, going into a higher place is always really helpful because you're bringing in higher dimensional frequencies of energy, and that's always good. So we can start by, of course, closing our eyes and just imagining the universe all around you and breathing in the most amazing energy possible for you in this moment from the universe. So love, joy, peace, harmony, enlightenment, just whatever feels good, just taking beautiful, nurturing breaths of it. And then releasing with the exhale. So what we're doing is releasing anything that feels dense. So we're wanting to rise up. So breathing in that beautiful light from the universe and releasing with the exhale. Just relaxing into it. Allowing the universe to nurture you and nourish you. Asking for any energy that is not your own to leave your space so that you can just have your own energy, which brings you, it gives you more power to be and to bring insights to whatever is happening. And then in a similar way, any energy of your own that you've left in other places with other people, other times, bringing that back into your space. And feel, just sensing yourself in this, you could say eternal now, or just in this moment, because everything is happening in the moment. Just feel that. You might notice you feel more present now. So how's that for you, Bonita?
I'm very high.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, then we can, again, now breathing in lighter energy and imagine rising first to that mystical mountaintop. And as we go up, we go beyond the mass consciousness thought forms, so high up that they can't affect us. And again, just releasing any traces of that kind of energy because we're all exposed to it here. Whether we want to or not, we're kind of bathing in it like fish in water. So how does it feel on the mountaintop, Bonita?
Well, it's much higher than I've ever been before on a mountaintop.
Wow.
It's like a big, very fine peak,
Mm-hmm.
like a pinpoint.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. How does that feel with the view and the fresh air and everything?
Well, all I'm noticing is the sensation that I feel in my body, the energy that I feel there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which is?
a very high vibration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Okay, so from there, then breathing in even lighter energy, looking to the universe all around you, stars and planets, and just beautiful, beautiful universe. Complete openness, and allow one of the stars to light up to identify your heavenly home, you could say, or your Akashic records.
Mm-hmm.
And just allow yourself to be drawn to that in the perfect way for you. And if you want, Bonita, you could just describe the experience from here a little bit, going up and entering your records.
So it looks like a round, um, like like a ball spaceship type thing. Um, and I'm up inside, and it's like a round room.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of a different place for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there are beings here, and they don't look like they're from this world.
Mm-hmm.
That's a first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm being welcomed,
Who's welcoming you?
the beings.
All of them collectively. Mhm.
Yeah. So what do you have to share with me? They're bringing out a big white platter. Um, there's nothing on it. What does this mean? Oh, it's like a buffet, and I can fill it with whatever I
Oh,
want.
wow.
You could have a little of this and a little of that, and you get to pick. Okay, so can we do a little more practical?
Yeah, and that's a good question. If you feel like something's not clear enough, like just to, can you make this clear for me? Which is what I think she's asking.
Yeah. There are no rules. I can pick what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And all I have to do is ask for it to appear, and it will appear. So as a metaphor for what I'm doing with the rest of my life, it's all up to me to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And they're giving me
How
a round of applause. Um,
how does that feel for it to be up to you to choose?
well, and they say it's always been up for you to choose. You just didn't know that you could. I didn't believe I could,
Mm-hmm.
but it truly is up to my higher consciousness to choose of
Yeah, and
where I
that's an
want to go.
important distinction too, like who's choosing.
Mhm. Yeah. And I can write my story as I go forward. And I see other people applauding, like other like vignettes of things to come,
Mm-hmm.
and just
Mm-hmm.
like being celebrated. Um, but but I don't want to be celebrated for who I am. I want to be celebrated for what I bring for others
Mm-hmm.
to help them. But I can accept the thanks of the people that I'm helping for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it all feels very positive and bigger than I can imagine,
Mm-hmm.
but not scary.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything else. No, there's nothing else for me.
One thing you could ask is if they have a gift for you that you can bring back as a, that would be, we were talking about signs, a sign
Okay.
or something that would help you to connect with the right energy, or just something that they think might be helpful for you.
They gave
If-
me a giant pearl.
Mm,
I'll have to look that up.
they're associated often with wisdom. Anything else?
Just to enjoy every step as it comes
Mm-hmm.
and not be surprised when all these wonderful things happen. Like not not believing that not believing you don't deserve it.
In other words, believing you deserve it.
Yeah, believe you deserve it.
just, just to
Yeah, double negative.
make that clear.
Hmm.
And that's a big thing. When you look at the whole reading, like that card, that source card and everything, it's big, and
Hmm.
kind of like the mission is big.
Yeah.
So part of it is growing into it.
Hmm.
And that takes us, I'm looking at the cards again. It takes us back to the Two of Fire, which is about expanding your vistas. That's often how it's described, looking out over this expansive world and, what is the universe calling me to do here?
Yeah, because I see my vistas as being very small, or I have
Mm-hmm.
been seeing them as just being small,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not.
Mm-hmm. And that might be a lot of the message to your superpower of
Hmm.
looking at it as a huge, looking at, I mean, how much larger could it be than returning to oneness, if
Yeah.
that's your superpower? Just to
Yeah.
consider what that might be for you.
Hmm.
Does that feel complete?
Well, it feels like I should be, or I could be afraid, but it feels very peaceful. It doesn't feel like a threat,
Mm-hmm.
to,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I think it's complete.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's interesting. That kind of brings my mind back to the Tower card too. Like,
Mm.
something big can happen, but it doesn't have to be scary.
Right.
Wonderful. So are you ready to return?
Yes.
Okay. So you can just imagine now, just say thank you and goodbye in whatever way is appropriate to all of these beautiful beings. I'm curious that if they would want to identify who they are more. Did you consider that before you go?
Um, what I hear is the Ark of the Covenant. I, I don't know what that means.
Mm-hmm. I can look that up. It's one. It is. Well, um, why don't we come back and then we can look
Okay.
it up on AI.
Okay.
It's a very important thing. Apparently, it's a thing. Um, so just allowing yourself now to drift back down the same way you came, first back to the mountaintop and then all the way back down. It's a long ways back down to where your body is resting and feeling your feet firmly on the floor.
I'm in I landed on my back in like a field of tall grass. It's
How
very,
does
very
that feel?
comfy.
Oh,
It's
good.
it was very nice. I
Good.
want to say like peat, but I don't know if that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Wonderful. And then breathing in more active energy, returning to your normal waking state.
Hmm.
And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I'm going to look up Ark of the Covenant. That's something I've explored some. I think there's an Ark of the Covenant card in the Akashic Tarot too.
Oh,
Or
really?
one that I'm not sure if it's named that or if it just refers to
Mhm.
it. I can see the image of it now. Okay. The Ark of the Covenant is a sacred gold plated wooden chest described in the Hebrew Bible and the Christian Old Testament as the most holy relic of the ancient Israelites, representing the physical manifestation of God's presence on earth.
Mm.
According to biblical tradition, it was constructed by the artisan, I can't pronounce, Bezalel at Mount Sinai under instructions given to Moses. It served as a spiritual focus for the nation during their desert wanderings, the conquest of Canaan, and eventually the inside of the inner sanctum of King Solomon's temple. And it is, when you I can show you this actually. Where is it? Here it is. It might look familiar to you. It is a very well-known kind of cultural symbol. Let's see if I can go. I won't go any bigger than that. But can you see that?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah. So, and there is actually an AI. You can go into these things in a great depth, of course. But it looks like this is a very expansive time for you. Everything seems to be very expansive.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're all here to be God's presence on earth.
Right. Yeah. And well, the way I look at it, if we're looking at the ascension and all of the things that are associated with it, building a light body, it is about bringing heaven to earth. You know, that theme, I think, is really something for all of us to consider what that means. And that's that 3-card reading. You know, what is it up here that you're bringing down and then actually bringing into the world? Because it's not a time for us to go to a cave somewhere and just meditate about things. It's a time for us really to bring spirit fully into form. And I think it's important and it's beautiful that there you are right in the midst of it.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so any comments or questions about that? Any thoughts for anybody? Any insights you may have had? Anything?
You like to hear about my experience in visiting the records?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Well, I chose to sort of appropriate Bonita's reading, but not entirely. I haven't done my superpower reading, and I said, well, it's not necessarily my superpower, but it's a power that we can all aspire to.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, so I used that and went up there and met with some interesting characters. Yeah, it was a group of them. And they weren't from here, like Bonita said. Mine probably looked different from hers. But in any case, they brought out a platter, but mine wasn't empty. It had some crystals in their natural form on it, different kinds of crystals. And I guess I felt invited to touch them, so I did. And I didn't get a lot of information from each of them, but there were at least 3, I think, that I touched. And what I could see was that they encapsulated information about alternative timelines for my future. And so I said, well, what unites all of these? And they basically said stay on course, but within your course of spiritual development, there are many variations you can choose, and they all end up at the same place ultimately, right? And I said, well, when you were talking, or Benita was saying she could add anything she wanted to her platter. I said, well, can I add things to my platter? And they said, sure, whatever you want, but we're just sort of giving you an example here and templates to work with. And if you're interested, you can get more information about them in the future. But because they're representing choices that you might make, it would be more beneficial to wait until you make one of those choices, to give you a lot of information. We don't want to confuse you and overload you. Yeah.
Right.
And so then I asked for a gift, and what I got was a small but many, many, many faceted diamond. And I said, well, what can I do with this? And they said, place it inside your brain next to your pineal gland. I don't know why they said that.
To open your third eye, probably. I would
Well,
guess.
quite likely, or yeah, something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
to improve its clarity and function, perhaps. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty much it, and it was interesting and enjoyable, and probably beneficial. I mean, I felt like it made sense, and
Mm-hmm.
um, it's just like, so there were a couple of little background things. I mean, one of the messages I get in card readings all the time is stay on course, and there was a specific card in, I think, the Akashic Records Tarot that really dives into that. It's a picture of seamen on a boat, and the captain is looking through the
Mm-hmm.
spyglass toward the destination. It
Mm-hmm.
basically says stay on course and you will be successful. So I take that as corroborating background, and then also I have twice drawn a card relating to crystals. One this morning from Oracle of the Hidden Worlds, and the other one is the Wonder card from Sacred Destiny Oracle. And
Mm-hmm.
they're both encouraging me, I think, to delve into crystals, which I feel very uncertain about because I don't know much about them, and it's one of those things that I always figured was very fringe, and I wasn't all that interested in it. But maybe not. It's like you don't really know until you investigate for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Well, and they
So
are, they're examples of spiritual
yeah,
qualities in form, in the form of all the crystals, which is
yeah,
really beautiful.
yeah, and the guide text for the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds card said, in the master class for the soul that you will be experiencing soon, basically crystals will play a part. Okay, well, that's pretty clear. I mean, I don't think it's going to start immediately. There's a couple of other things that I'm expecting to happen first, but yeah, I could go um into crystals and explore and discover whether I might have a very passionate interest in them. I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
had a friend who started a crystal business and didn't do well, and I think his part of his business failure was because he was just doing it for money, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense.
if you'd gotten very very into it and had learned a lot and had been able to perhaps explain and educate and draw others into
Mm-hmm.
a similar
Inspire
passion,
people with them. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
he would have done better.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
anyway, all that is a little bit of background to my experience, I think.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for sharing. And I'm glad you had that wonderful experience. Okay, so there was one more thing I wanted to share with you. I have to go back to the website if I can find it in all of this stuff I have here. Get back. Here we are. Okay, so I want to share again. Here we are. Okay, so on your resource page, all the way down in section 3, which is these are things that would be theoretically at least the same or similar in all of the courses. That's why they're there. This one, 3.9 card spreads. There are a few interesting card spreads to explore. And next week, by the way, is your week off, kind of like mid-course. We're halfway through. You have a week off. Um, so the first one, this is kind of interesting. The new deck card spread. And it has 8 cards. You could actually just do the top ones or the bottom ones, whatever you feel like, or do the whole thing. And this is just a way to get to know a new deck of cards and telling it how it can benefit you. The first 4 are about its role in serving you, and then the second part is how it can support you. So it's kind of an interesting reading and a way to get to know a new deck, start communicating with it. The second one, this is called the decision making card or card spread, or the do don't do card spread, which is, we had that as one of the cards in the 3-card readings. So that's just a little much more of a description. And this is, we mentioned, we often say our approach to readings is not fortune telling. And a lot of times people will want to know, well, was this relationship my ultimate relationship, or am I supposed to do that, or I'm supposed to do this? This is just another way to do a reading without saying yes or no. And as I mentioned earlier, to inspire the person, or you can use it yourself to have a greater understanding of the situation, which then will help you to go in the right direction. So do or don't do card spread. And then the last one, enlightened being spread. And this is one for receiving divine guidance from, it could be an angel, a master. There are gods and goddesses, a lot of different beings of light up there. And it's a reading to, the first card is a confirmation this being is communicating with you through the cards. I mentioned before using a deck with the intention of communicating with a being. This is a way to kind of introduce yourself if you want to actually start a conversation. So the first one is validation that you're conversing with that one. Then we have a central focus, what to release, what to embrace. And then a summary card. What else might you want me to know? And there are, there are more examples of questions that you can ask them. What would be the benefit of us connecting with each other? Where might I be challenged if I connect with you? Because to me, part of all of this is having those relationships with beings of light so that they're as much part of our daily lives as anything else. That our relationships with specific angels and guides and masters, where we can just talk to them and include them in our perspective on what reality is. So those are just a few things. If you want, you can be exploring those next week or whenever. I wanted to point them out. So let's see, I want to stop the share. So that's about it for today. Any questions about those extra spreads, card spreads? Okay, well, that seems like we've covered a lot of territory. I want to thank Bonita. That was such a beautiful reading and visit to the records. I'm sure that you'll be receiving more insight over time on that.
I'll be looking for it.
Right. Yeah, that was really something else. And thank you, George, for sharing. So any final thoughts, anyone? Something you enjoyed today that you'd like to mention? Okay, looks like we're all done then. So have a wonderful week, and we'll be back July 1st. Bye for now.
Bye.
I'll stay if anybody has anything you want to talk about.
I guess I could ask about the I did write down the other cards, which I don't have yet, and has been a bit of a struggle. But is it the female archangel card deck?
Right. Yeah, this is
That's what it's called.
yeah.
Feminine archangels. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I try to order them all at once, it's going to be more than $50, I'm sure.
All four of them, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I mentioned to you that some of them are available from China, but you said you wanted to get the guidebooks too, so that wouldn't
Yeah,
work.
exactly. I'm glad you did say that they didn't have the guidebooks. That way, I wouldn't be disappointed
Right.
because I would like to be able, even though I may have a sense of something, I still would like to read,
Mhm.
what the author um intended and what they deduced when they brought that energy forward.
Mhm. Well, they have, they have ways you can download PDFs of them, but it's
Yeah, that's
electronic. It's not something that you can put your arms around and read.
true.
Yeah.
Um, I might ask Judy, I'm not sure which cards she bought, but she had said that she didn't think she would be using them. Maybe I could buy whatever decks she might have to use in classes, be able
Well,
to pick
yeah,
those.
would it be from I guess the angels course.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Not sure. But she had 4 decks. So
She got all of them. Hmm.
I do have the soul deck and um a couple of the others. Okay. Thank you. I just looking to be resourceful. Thanks.
Hmm. Okay.